On today's episode, we have a ton of listener questions, so we dive into those.
Suck it in. Shave that bag.
Welcome back to the pod, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenny, here with Matt, BJJ Balance podcast. Matt visited my gym last night.
I did. I was there. What's up, guys? Bonjour. I went to dedicated Jiu Jitsu in Temecula last night. I said, you know what? I said, wife, shut up. I'm going. I didn't say that at all. I said, honey, I think I'm going to go to train tonight. She's like, I don't give a fuck. Get out of here. I got fairy books to listen to. And she just freaking, listened to her like fairy stuff. And I went and visited Kenny. I took my wife's car. Okay. First of all, I took my, okay. Hey, I saw the DM. I got a couple. Okay.
Did you
and
really?
I saw something Kenny sent me. Look it. I am a good husband. My wife drives a Super Outback, a lesbian car. I get it. It is basically the F-250 for women who freaking look like Nick Carter. I get it. But I drove it. She needed to go to work this week. I said, I'll pump gas for you because I am a man. Chivalry is not dead. I take care of my girl. So I took her Outback and Kenny's like, where are you at? Are you here? And I'm like, nope. And I pull in and there's Kenny with the phone. I'm like, this guy's going to get me on freaking getting out of the soup. I get out. There he is. So yeah, I was driving a Super Outback last night. It was humbling. It was humbling, but I went in, got to train. It's good to train with those guys every once in a while. I haven't been over there in a couple months. So it was good to train with Kenny. We do a lot of talking, not a lot of walking. We got some rounds in together. Well, one round, right?
Yeah.
It was cool.
Your first round.
It was fun. Kenny had been talking about pressure tapping people lately, so I had to fucking pressure tap Kenny, which was fun.
Yeah, 3 times.
And then it was good.
Yeah, if you think that you're just going to get Matt in half guard and then like somehow recover, that's not going to happen. He's going to get out of the half guard and just pressure tap you.
It was fun.
I fought too. I was like, I saw some video recently and it was just like, if someone is putting pressure on your lower, you just change your breathing to your ribs, start breathing through, your upper chest. And then if they're putting pressure on your chest, start breathing from your stomach. And I tried that with Matt. Yeah. Fucking terrible. Did not work. Yeah.
I seen that video.
Yeah.
What this guy's a clown.
Yeah. Well, I tried it. I tried the video. I debunked the fuck out of that.
Mythbusters. But got around with Kenny, and then I'm like, so like my leg's bad still, right? It feels great, but it's very weak still. So I can't go back-to-back rounds. I have to kind of rest it. And I can only maybe do 1 or 2 rounds a day. And it's like very like calculated who I roll with. And so I was sitting on the wall and I'm just like chopping it up with somebody next to me. And of course, Kenny's going to go again. He's going, he's healthy. So I see him rolling. I'm like, oh, there's Kenny rolling over there with that guy. And I just see this guy that's my boy who loves half guard just getting absolutely demolished in half guard right now. Like I'm like, Kenny. And of course I like to coach from the sidelines. It could be frowned upon or not, but I just like to coach. So I'm like, Kenny, get your underhook frame. Kenny, get your underhook. Kenny, we need that underhook. Kenny. And I'm like, is this guy, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, is this guy not, Kenny don't listen. That's what I thought. I was like, Kenny is fucking disobedient. I'm like, poor Jason. What kind of students he got? This guy does not take advice at all. I'm like, get your underhook, dude. Get to your lockdown. What are you doing? And then all of a sudden, I feel a body like behind on the side of me sit down, and I hear, who are you talking to? And I look over, it's fucking Kenny. I was coaching somebody else. That looks just like Kenny. Kenny had a doppelganger there. We know who it is. I'm not going to say his name.
They probably weren't. They were probably weren't paying attention to you at all because you kept saying Kenny, and they're like,
yeah.
They don't know that you're talking to them. They probably just think I'm over there getting smashed in half guard.
I'm like, we know who the guy is. John, and then rhymes with what's his last name rhyme with?
Birchwood.
John Birch. Yeah, John Birch. And we're like, I'm like, hey.
Sean,
he was
Sean Birch.
Sean Birch. Yeah. But he was just a bald dude with a beard and a black gi. And like, I swear, maybe my eyes are bad. I thought that was you. I swear to God. And I was looking at him. He was like not far. He was like,
no,
5 feet away. And I was looking at him for like 3 minutes, dude, just yelling at him.
Yeah. But when I sat down next to you, I looked over there and I'm like, I just see bald head, you know what I mean? And black gi. So I get it. You know what
beard.
I mean? Yeah.
And beard.
But you couldn't really make the face out because he was being smashed. But Sean Birch said that since he's competing on Sunday, he wasn't trying to do competitive rounds. He was just trying to get a sweat going.
Rajon Turch, he fucking literally did. He ended up winning that round. So let's put that to bed. It was a blue belt giving him that business, but he ended up Tom Furch ended up freaking, getting the dub there. But it was yeah, I get it. He is competing on Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're not going to say what it is because we're trying to keep incognito on the date on this podcast. So, okay.
I'm fucking excited about this. I'm going to bring it up anyway. These may be sold out by the time this episode appears. And if they do, I'll fucking order more. Why not? We have BJJ Balance ski patches. These are quality fucking patches. I gave Matt a stack of them yesterday. These are quality patches.
Fat stack.
So, fucking sew it onto lapel or fucking the bottom, or the butt. Because jiu-jitsu's not pants. There you go.
Dude.
If your girl's skinny enough, you could probably choke her with one of these.
I'm gonna put one on on Bean's gi.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get one on Sadie's. She competes this weekend as well, so I'm gonna get one on her gi.
I might have to have you sew it for me.
Yeah, bring it over.
Kenny, look at this thing about Kenny. Kenny can do everything.
I can do everything.
Like this, he can do everything. He can't. Now he said, "I don't do everything great, but there's nothing I can do." And he even said, "I said, well, you can't grow hair," and he's like, "Well, look at my fucking beard." And I'm like, "Damn, I have a patchy ass beard." He's right. He can grow hair, just not as he can grow at some places.
Yeah. Balls are
so
thick, bro. The ball fro is just hair's dense, dog.
So I was wondering, like Jim Carrey said, he's like, "Hey, I have this beard, but I'm wondering why am I still shaving my balls?" You know what I mean? He's like, "I got this great beard." He's all, "But why am I shaving my balls?" That's crazy. Most guys with beards shave their balls, which is weird. If you're gonna be hairy, be hairy. You know what I mean?
That's saying I'm not a hairy dude. Like as a whole, like I get a little hair on my chest, but nothing major. It's not grown and thick. I don't have any back hair.
That's the Portuguese, dude.
Yeah,
that's the Portuguese.
Thank God.
I don't get a lot of hair. I'm not hairy either.
Yeah, thank God, dude.
I'm not.
But the ball. I mean, I've been shaving. Like I used to like razor shave, not just buzzers, but like you know what I mean, like fucking hit it with the bic, the sack, the taint, and all.
Hit the sack with the hell yeah, get up in there.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. You learn to get good at it because if you do snag it, it stings like a motherfucker. But
if you got a step in your shower, Kenny's got his fucking leg up and fucking looking down, fucking shaving that gooch.
Just fucking.
Some people sit on it. Kenny puts his leg up on it and fucking.
Can you get the spot right here? It's a little easy.
Fucking looking under his own legs, dude.
Just looking like a cat in the shower.
Just out there. I'm like, what? Fucking wife walks in. What are you doing? Are you? It's like more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Shaving your shaving your taint, bro, is more embarrassing than getting caught jerking in the shower.
I've never been caught. I'm not a shower jerker, but I remember one of my buddies that I was in the military with, who I haven't spoken to in like well over a decade. So I'm just go ahead and say Drew, my buddy Drew from the Air Force, told me this story one time about how like I guess this girl like had tried to wake him up that morning for some like some morning sex or whatever. He was like half asleep and wasn't into it. And once he got his morning going, I guess she was kind of disgruntled about it, so she kind of like, well, whatever. So he gets his morning going. He's awake. He's in the shower and he's just trying to rub one out before because we used to work swings. So he's trying to rub one out before he gets dressed and like goes to work. And she comes in the bathroom and he's like mid fucking stroke. And she opens the shower curtain up to ask him a question. And he's just fucking going to town on himself. And apparently she was furious. So she just caught him.
Bro, they get mad. They would be mad. I think my wife would be mad if she caught me for sure. Like that's her goo. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
Real possessive.
Like I've never been caught either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not really a big self-care guy. You know what I mean? I'm
not a shower jerker.
I'm a heavy edger. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, no. I save it for her. You know what I mean? Okay. Like so I mean, I guess when I was single before I'd meet a girl, I would do that because I want to have a good performance.
Yeah.
But like now that, it's consistent, your boy doesn't really like to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, could you imagine her walking in and you're just like fucking just like playing the fucking violin between your cheeks with a fucking razor blade, dude, trying to clean the whistle, dude? That's fucking crazy.
She's like, are you trying to blow yourself or fucking like, what are you doing right now?
Whose razor is that? Sorry, honey.
Is that the same one
I'm not using my Harry's.
Yeah, I'm not gonna,
this is yours.
I'm not going to shave the taint and then go to the face with it. That's just
no, ass to mouth. We don't do that here.
This is a fucking savage?
Weird episode.
That's saying a lot for us too.
That's saying a lot, dude. Yeah, no, I've never been caught. I've never been caught shaving, and I've never been caught self-caring.
Hey, you know what? This is a random topic that I brought up the other day, and I guess it's been setting with me. I think BMAC posted it. It was an old video of Eddie Bravo, like early black belt Eddie Bravo. And he was saying that I will never give somebody a black belt if they can't put their feet, like sitting on the ground, sitting on their ass, put their feet together and push their knees to the floor. And he goes, if you can't do that, you're not a black belt because that just tells me that you don't play guard enough. And how can you be a black belt in jiu-jitsu if you don't play guard enough?
I think a black belt in his system, right? That's maybe. Like very important for him to get to all his truck and crazy rubber guard stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess, that it's his black belts, right? Like that's his philosophy. Everybody has certain things that they want to like say, like you're not going to get a blue belt until you can pass guard, right? Or you can. So I guess it's the same thing. I guess is just his way of saying you can't have an elite guard unless you can do this.
Yeah,
and you can hit all my stuff. So, but I don't think Joe Rogan's pretty flexible. He's been documented like how flexible Joe Rogan is. So
yeah, that fool's been doing the splits for
and you can get that flexible if you're playing that stuff and you're stretching every day.
Yeah,
you can.
I remember talking to
those little
fucking
those. Have you seen those machines where you have like the little turn the wheel?
Yeah, dude, in Black Belt magazine back in the day. Did you ever
stretch your legs out?
Yeah. Do you ever read that shit back in the day? I did like Taekwondo as a kid, and I was like obsessed with Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee and all that shit. So Black Belt magazine was
Don the Dragon Wilson.
Yeah.
Fuck. Remember? Fuck yeah.
So yeah, they would sell those.
The worst movie show ever was Kung Fu. Remember that shit?
The Legend Continues.
The old man just walk. Yes. He's just walking around. The old dude. That show fucking sucked.
David Carradine. There's hardly
David Carradine. Fucking David Carradine.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, who ended up being fucking Bill in Kill Bill.
Yeah, he was, huh?
Yeah.
Kill Bill, underrated movie.
Dude, so good. I hear there's a Tarantino's possibly thinking about doing a third.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because I guess
he doesn't really do bad movies.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, think about. I don't know that there's a Tarantino movie that sucks, to be honest with you. There's some that I like more than others, clearly, but I don't think any of them are bad.
Right. Here's a question. Do you think if you would have stayed 10th Planet, you'd be more flexible now than you are?
Yes. I was more flexible as a white belt at 10th Planet already than I am now. That, I think, has a lot to do with
Is that because of youth? Is that because of your age? Or is that because
there's a couple things. So before 10th Planet, I was on a big, for like probably a 7 or 8 month gym kick with Wendy. Like probably 5 days a week, if not 6. definitely Monday through Friday gym, sometimes Saturday gym. So I was like working out consistently. So my strength was there. Like I could do like headstand push-ups and shit.
Shit.
And then when I got there, they really focus on, there's a warm-up that they did there that I really wish that other jiu-jitsu schools would do. But it's like a warm-up for stretching your hips out, your hip flexors. You know how we do like I think they call it a 50-50 where you're like your knees both go one direction, you kind of lay. Right. So they do a down the mat warm-up like that. Where you kind of walk like I'll show you sometime. It's a really neat thing, but it really, when you get down the mat doing that, left, right, walking down the mat like that, your hips are pretty opened up. So there's a real big emphasis on that. But I was just in better shape in general. Like I really didn't have a belly or anything like that. And I was doing jiu-jitsu again 5 to 6 days a week. I basically went from being a gym rat to being a jiu-jitsu gym rat as a white belt. So I was more flexible. Just because of that, I just had more mat time and I was starting in better shape and I was 35, not 41. So all of those definitely play a factor.
I'm going to be 41 next week, dude.
It's coming.
Oh, boy. We got a lot of fucking questions, Kenny.
We have a lot of questions. You're right. Let's dive into them. Let's see what we got here. The last 2 weeks, man, a lot of, and then before that, there was
shout out to the shout out. We don't have a name for you guys, but you guys were like,
you make one up,
diehards for us
in the comments. What name do you want to be called?
Yeah, we need to have a name. Yeah, we need to put a poll. A poll.
Yeah. You throw suggestions in there, and we'll build a poll on the page about it.
Yeah.
Listeners, you're the listeners, but you guys could be more.
The ones who are like really diehards. We need something for you guys.
Hey, you know what? Hold up. I told you I wanted to do this, and we can pull. I'll cut this out if we need to, or we'll just fuck it. We'll talk about it, and I'll just make a fucking reel out of it.
All right.
Okay. First of all, Matt Enforcer Soap. They're partnered with Oast Nation. They have tossed me some free soap. They're hilarious. Whoever's running their Instagram is, I don't know if it's the husband or the wife or both of them.
I think it's a husband and wife squad.
Yeah, yep. They're hilarious. And the soap is fucking legit, dude. So Matt brought me a package and I opened it up and there was a card in there. And it was like, hey, Kenny, we really hope you like this. Let us know if you need anything. And then Matt gave me 4 different bars of soap. And my wife has like the nose of nose, like her sense of smell is insane. And so anytime I get anything that has any sort of a scent, I have her be my litmus test for it because my nose is trash. And every single soap I handed her, she was just like, this smells amazing. This smells even better. What's this one? And they have the ingredients on it, like what's in it on the bar and everything. But yeah, all legit stuff. I feel very clean with it. I don't have any like weird. Sometimes if I use like cheap, like store-bought soap, like let's say Irish Spring or some shit like that, I'll wash my skin. And then after I rinse it off, like it feels dry, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I just, all the moisture just got sucked out of my body. I do not feel that way with this, but whatever that black bar is that you gave me smells so good and feels good on the skin and everything else. So Matt Enforcer Soap, legit stuff. Check them out. Go to their website. We'll link it in the comment. And yeah.
Matt Enforcer Soap, they, funny account too. Follow at Matt Enforcer Soap. They're funny account. They do memes. But legit, like if you like, dude, no, look at after training, we want a soap, a disinfect, tap the funk out. We want all that. We want something to like, cleanse the body. And we know the other soaps, defense and all that kind of stuff. And there are other soaps out there and they work great. But the problem with those soaps is they have a little funk. It smells chemically.
Yeah.
It smells like, it doesn't smell like you could use this every day. Matt Enforcer Soap, you could use as an everyday soap. Like it is fantastic. It is no bullshit. There's no bullshit. They're not paying us.
No.
They just gave us some bars. This soap is fantastic. And if you use code OAST10, you can save. So if you go to Matt Enforcer Soap and you buy some soap, use code OAST10 at checkout, you'll save 10%. Guys, I'm telling you right now, it's good ass soap. I'm no bullshit. I put that on everything. And there's a rumor that I might be having my own custom bar coming out soon. A collab with them, the Big O Bar or whatever, the O's Nation bar. It's a big bar for big dudes. It's gonna be good, dude. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, check them out, dude. Mountain Force Soap, fantastic.
All right. Well, speaking of them, this is why I brought it up. First question is from them. If you could have one superpower, i.e., super slow, super weak, etc., which one is it and why? I'd be super slow.
Like sloth?
Because you could, if you're super weak, you're going to get smashed. You know what I mean? Your technique's only going to.
Does it have to pertain to jiu-jitsu or life?
Think so. We'll say jiu-jitsu. We'll keep it in the realm of the pod. And I don't mean, I don't think legit like slow, but like maybe you just don't have the explosive. Guess what? I'm 41. I already don't have that. So not changing my game up a lot here. I can be patient. I can really like focus on my technique, and I still have my strength because you're slow doesn't mean you're weak. I still have my strength for when I need to have that power there. But I feel like you take your power away and you're super weak. It doesn't matter how fast or how technical you are. It's only going to get you so far. And at my size, it's only going to get me smashed a lot.
Whoa. An unsuperpower, something that I would give me a bad trait. I guess I would, man, I'm already pretty disabled out there. Kenny. I'm already fucking pretty banged up. I guess I would get rid of my, I would just become more of my, like, I guess I would just be big. I would get rid of my scrambling and my craziness that I can do that can surprise people with.
Yeah.
I would get rid of that. Your
jiu-jitsu would look more like what people would assume it would be.
Yeah, that's why I would just be more of like just tank style. I wouldn't be like, wow, this guy inverted. He got upside down and front rolled out of it.
We say it all the time, and I don't think people ever fucking hear it enough. Matt does shocking shit where you're just like, what? Like, you can move like that? Matt's a big guy, but Matt can do little guy things too. And it is very shocking when you see him do it because you're never expecting it when it happens. And then he fucking does some wild inversion shit and you're just like, what the fuck? But you're already fucking thrown and he's on top of you at that point. So yeah, now you can't process that because
I have a video of me, I think it was last year, doing a front handspring. I don't think I could do it now because my bicep, but I'll post it to the Discord, show you guys me doing something in the park. I did like a front handspring for my kid. My wife's like, you're an idiot. You're going to hurt yourself. I did it, and I did kind of tweak my hip, but it's still there. I didn't tell her that. I was like, yeah, you like that?
Fucking nailed it.
Nailed it. Like, oh, fuck, that's a bad idea.
KR 900-700. Bonjour, gents. You guys lucked out being in the U.S. However, have you ever trained abroad? I've not.
I've trained some ladies. Oh, yeah. Come here, girl.
Abroad, one word. Matt's not a broad. Jesus Christ.
I have not trained.
I think we talked about this episode 1. You were very much like, look, if I'm going on vacation, I might take a gi, but I'm not really going to use it. I'm trying to get it in, not get it in, you know?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess if someone said, hey, we want a freaking Matt Vega seminar, I would train, obviously. I go there for business, but usually when I leave and I go on vacation, I'm trying to get it in. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to like pop a rib and like it. That's for me and my lady. So I usually don't train when I'm on vacation unless it's like a jiu-jitsu vacation, like with the PGF but I've never been to Europe. I've never been out of the United States.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I have never been out of the United States. I've never been to Europe. I've never even been to Mexico.
No
and
shit.
I literally can throw a rock to Mexico from my house, but I've never been there.
No, I've not. Well, I took a gi when I went to go visit my parents in Arizona. I wouldn't really call that abroad, but they live like kind of remote Arizona. And I even found a school that like I messaged them and like, yeah, for sure, come in, da da da. And I just didn't do it. Like it was one of those things where I was with my family for like 4 days, and I'm like, I don't get to see my mom and stepdad often. I just want to spend time with my mom and my stepdad. You know what I mean? Like, so even though I could have probably, and that was the thing too, is they didn't have any early morning classes. So it was going to be like a 6 p.m. thing. It's just like, that's about the time that my family's eating dinner. So I don't want to.
That was hard for me last night training. Last night, like 6 p.m. rather than 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, Kenny, I'm tired. So I don't go to sleep. I'm yawning.
Did you woke up though? I mean, I feel like once you get those rolls in, you pop up. I leave jiu-jitsu pretty.
Yeah.
So
it was fun. I really had a good time. I don't get to train with you very often. So it was good to get that out of the way. We talk every week. We talk every day.
Yeah.
I talk to Kenny more than I talk to my wife probably. That's a shoot. That's dead on. That's dead ass.
Yeah.
So like, because it's an all day, and it's good to get to roll them.
Urban Cowboy _ BJJ. How do you mentally prepare for competition? LOL. JK.
So don't tell you.
Yeah. No, we've gone over this question so many fucking times at this point that no. There's a funny thing. There's in the Harley community, in the quote unquote club style Harley community. Everybody puts fairings on their motorcycles. It started with the trend started obviously before.
What is it? What is a fairing?
A fairing is like it goes over your headlight and it blocks wind. It's also an aesthetic thing. So like it definitely is something that pre-existed the show Sons of Anarchy, because that's the whole reason it's called the club style bike. Hell's Angels have been doing it, on motorcycles since the 70s. However, with the release of that show and the popularity of West Coast motorcycle club culture, it exploded across the rest of the country and world for that matter. So early, this is like 2009, 2010, 2011, as people were starting to build these Dynas out to look like these club style bikes, there was a lot of like on the forums or like on Facebook groups, hey, what fairing is that? What fairing is that? Question got asked a lot, and it became really annoying. So I feel like this how do you get ready for competition question is becoming the what's fairing is that question for our podcast.
I know. Yeah, we got to wait at least 10 episodes before we answer that one again. Last episode we answered that one.
Yeah.
So
RSP 901 GP for anyone visiting the US of A, America. Where are you guys based? California.
Your mom's house, dog. No, yes, Southern California, dude. Southern California, wine country.
Yeah.
If you're ever in that area, hit up one of the BJJ Balance DMs, Host Nation BJJ DMs, and we can set you up with a class. I've had a couple of guys, reach out to me, private lessons from Utah and stuff like that. So it's cool, man. Yeah, come, let's get some work in.
Buckaroo _ Blake, tips and tricks for coaching kids, little kids ages 4 to 7 and big kids ages 7 to 14. I'm a blue belt. I'm not going to answer that.
Tips and tricks for coaching kids. You got to make them feel like it's okay to lose and it's okay to, we're just having fun. That's the key. You got to make jiu-jitsu fun for your kid. If your kid feels like they're going to let you down if they lose, then, that's not good. And I think as a coach, you just got to be like, look you already won. You signed up. You signed up to train. The ones you can't lose. You're getting after. You're doing what every other kid in your school's not doing. So, just have fun and go out there and I'm proud of you no matter what. I think the kids just need to know that their professor or their coach or their parent is super proud of them no matter what the cost. And whatever happens out there, it's not going to affect how I feel about you or how you feel about them rather. So I think that's the key. They've got to, because they're nervous and that's normal. We all get nervous. Doesn't matter how old you are. But if they know that like they can just be free to do what they want to do, then, they'll just have fun.
This is actually from Mark Leg Action. He sent me a text message. And he said, my question won't fit for the pod on IG. You've transported back to white belt and you have to train ecological approach. where are you training? I don't even, are there any prominent gyms that are training ecological approach?
I guess like you have to train that way. I'm probably going to stay checkmat because the room is so dangerous. So like if I like, hey, I can't show up for the drills. I just got to show up late and just roll.
Gotcha.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to stay with guys that are just going to murk me all day long. And I'd probably stay checkmat or I would stay, if you want to go geological, I would probably stay Southern California, Texas, New York, and just jump, open mats to open mats or whatever. But yeah, if I had to train, that style, I would definitely, I think I'm at the right team. Cause if you're the baddest, motherfucker in your room, you're in the wrong room. And there's no way I can say that about where I train.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't. We don't
believe in it.
Would the 10th planet, are you familiar with the 10th planet warm-ups?
No.
Okay, so
sorry.
Maybe this will make sense, and maybe this is ecological approach. I don't know. 10th Planet has something called 10th Planet warm-ups, and it changes week by week. And Eddie Bravo basically has an alphabet, and I don't know what letter he's up to now, but at one point in time, it was like up to the letter H. He just hasn't worked through the whole alphabet yet. And the letter has nothing to do with what you're doing. It's like essentially numbering it 1 through whatever. So if we have warm-up A, it's essentially a flow. So it's like you get with a partner and we're going to, and then there's like there's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced version of this. Beginner is basically a shorter movement. Intermediate has that entire same movement in the beginning, but then adds a little bit more to it just to make it a little longer, and advanced is a much longer. But it's one flow. So it's just like, I go from we start in my guard, and I snag the arm and I go for the arm bar, but then you pass or you block the arm bar. So I go to the triangle, then you block the triangle, and I go to omoplot. Yeah. So it's just like, I do something, you answer it. I do something, you answer it. It's just a back and forth. And you eventually drill.
I dive over your body for the Kimura. Then I take your back. You escape the back. You roll into me. So you're basically creating almost like a kata roll.
Yes, exactly. And then, but then it just gets your body familiar with the movements, and then building the muscle memory. So when they do try to go for that submission, you're already so used to just blocking it from that it feels natural. So maybe that's pretty good. Would be like an ecological approach.
Yeah,
because you're really
putting
drill.
You in spots to do, right?
Yeah. And you're not going at full pace, you know what I mean? You're going at, let's say, like a 60% pace. And it's not a flow roll, like, you know how like your typical, like how our biggest critique of flow roll, your biggest critique of flow roll is like, well, I'm just supposed to go like 60% until I feel like you're not doing 60% anymore. And then I'm going to go 70, then you're going to go 80, and I'm going to go, you know what I mean? Eventually we're just going full roll at that point. Or I'm just supposed to concede the armbar to you. You know, that's kind of, I get your point there, because there's no structure to it. We're just essentially quote unquote like freestyling, but like their warm-up system is essentially flowing, but it has like a very direct, you know, I know exactly what you're going to do, and I know what I'm going to do, and you know what I'm going to do. Like there's a back and forth to it. So
like shout out to 10th Planet schools, because they really did have an impact on Kenny's life. Because, you know, Kenny, like, there's a lot of stuff that he talks about from those days. So shout out Drew and all those guys who, like, you know, it basically like sparked his interest in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that was like a big staple in your game. And like, so like you're always talking about like, oh, 10th Planet this time. And I'm like, hey man, that's part of your journey. And like, you know what I mean? Like, and even when you roll with Kenny, there's he does a lot of stuff, and he's documented on the podcast that, like, you know, I don't like grips too much. I still rather, you know, C-clamp the wrist and play, you know, lockdown. And like, his game is very, very no-gi based, even in the gi, even though he's starting to fall in love with gi chokes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like him a lot.
He's starting. He's like, oh, I'm starting to like these gi chokes. You know what I mean? Yesterday I was showing him some gi chokes, and I could just see his eyes like, whoa, I'm doing this.
Because they're so unsuspicious. You know what I mean? Like some of the chokes that Matt showed yesterday were so like, specifically the one where you're with using your foot to pull down on the gi.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck? That's the thing too, is that I feel, especially, I think this is like any white or blue belt. There's not a lot of gi manipulation in those early belts. You know what I mean? Where you're pulling your gi out and choking somebody with your own gi kind of a thing, or pulling their gi out of their belt. You know what I mean? And wrapping them up in it. There's not a lot of that in those earlier belts. So when you have a black belt sitting there going like, oh, you just can do this, this, and this. And you're just like, that's been there the whole time. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, what the fuck? I'm sitting here fucking fighting for grips and hands, and I already have, one cross lapel from the back, and you're telling me that I can just take, like, what the fuck? It just, pretty mind blowing stuff. So
it was pretty fun. But yeah, no, a shout out 10th Planet for, like getting my boy to like jiu-jitsu and then going to traditional school and meeting me, and here we are.
Well, so I think when I see dudes like J-Rod throwing on a gi, which I don't know if it started as a joke initially, you know what I mean? Like, obviously he's got a level black sponsorship. If he's like, hey man, I want a gi, they're going to send him one, kind of a thing. And he gets a gi and he puts it on, and all of a sudden he's having fun with the gi. And he's realizing like, oh, there's a lot more about jiu-jitsu even at my belt level that I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so he's really
because he said he never put it on.
Yeah. So I kind of felt the same way. Like I did probably about a year. I think it was like 11 months of jiu-jitsu under 10th Planet before I moved to Checkmat, just because I moved my house. I physically was further away from. That's why I went to Dan Henderson's. It was literally 2 blocks away from my work. So I was like, this is super convenient. It'd be dumb for me to drive past this every day. And that's how once I started putting a gi on, like I fell in love with it. Well, the first day was confusing as hell. I had no idea what the fuck to do or how, like, one, I didn't realize you could grab the clothing anywhere you want. 2, I didn't realize how much I was going to get fucked up with my own gi. Or just kind of stalemated and whatnot and be stuck like looking at them. And the other person that's stalemating you, they can make whatever move they want, but they're waiting for you to make a mistake so that they know what their next path is going to be. So I became completely enamored with it. So I do feel really comfortable in no gi to this day, even though I train it 1 day a week versus, 2 to 3 days in the gi a week. I feel really comfortable in no gi. And, but I absolutely love training in the gi. And so like when I see J-Rod, like just playing with it, you know what I mean? He's just having a fucking roll with one of his teammates in the gi, and he's got a smile on his face during that. You could see it's from the security camera. The dude's smiling so hard and so big that the shitty security camera footage is picking it up. You know what I mean? Like he's posting these videos like I'm having fun in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, and he's going in there with probably a less competitive mindset because he is a no-gi competitor.
Right.
So he's going in there and it's like house money for him. He doesn't have to have there's no ego in his room when he's going into gi. He's just out there like having fun. Like, dude, I'm getting murked. I'm having fun. I'm like a new student again.
Right.
Like in the gi, I'm not a name.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like in the gi, I'm just,
well,
I'm just me.
I know we've brought this up many times in the past, but like when we were at PGF, there was one day where we saw Davis Asari, who is a very well-known no-gi competitor, and Chris Olivo, and they both put a gi on, and this is like after the open mat too. Like the open mat was like 2 hours long. So we're there for like an hour to 2 recording the pod, tearing down and whatever. Open mat starts after a team practice for another 2 hours. So we've been there for 4 hours of rolling so far. And then we just watch these guys for another like hour and a half after everybody else has left. These guys are so obsessed with jiu-jitsu. You've got Davis Asari and Chris Olivo. By the way, Chris Olivo is opening his own gym, Progress Jiu-Jitsu in Vegas. It's a Zenith affiliate. Check it out. They were going over, I think it was because you got involved with it too. I think it was Lasso. And
they started talking Lasso, and I'm like, If someone says the word lasso, your boy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So, I mean, just watch two guys that are known in the no-gi space competitively have a gi on and just be hooked on learning more jiu-jitsu transitions and different moves and things like that. It's just cool to see. It's for anybody out there that's saying like, oh, like I got into a debate with somebody online actually today about how somebody said that, no-gi, our gi is dead and whatnot. And I'm just like, again, to Matt's point,
that's
he brings up often.
Argument.
Yeah. Go to a jiu-jitsu competition. Why is the no-gi, you can burn through all the belts in like a 4-hour span, but gi's a day and a half long. You know what I mean? Like it's not gi's.
If anything, BMAX, right? Where no-gi is more of the professional.
Yeah.
Working its way to being more of the professional side. And then gi is more of like the amateur side. Even though that's fucking so disrespectful to say to the gi world champions,
right.
Like we're Adam Warzinski and shit. That is fucking disrespectful because those motherfuckers will mangle you. So like there are definitely pros at both. That was honestly that like I get what BMAX trying to say. Like people are gonna watch high level no gi more, but that doesn't mean that the gi is like dead, and it doesn't mean that the gi is like not pro, and it's not like they're not legit savages.
Let's take it back to 95. You've got boxers, professional boxing. That's the massive eye draw.
I had silk boxers in 1995, dude. I said, Mom, I want to try some silk boxers, dude.
But then you had early MMA in those years, and people just like, oh, that's not real fighting. That's scrapping. That's, street fighting in a cage. It's cage fighting. It's underground fighting, whatever they wanted to do to discredit its validity. And now MMA, nobody says, oh, MMA is not professional. You know what I mean? Like it's the highest tier of fighting. UFC is the high. Nobody that's not being biased thinks that the best heavyweight boxer in the world is going to beat the best UFC heavyweight in the world at an actual fight. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, no one's, there's not a heavyweight in the world that's beating John Jones.
No.
Period. Not happening.
So, yeah, that's kind of, my comparison there is that like, I think it's, we've said before too, it's more, palatable no-gi. There's less to understand. It's less complex. So you're at there. Mm-hmm. It has a better shot of making it, from a, mainstream standpoint because the average person can pick it up a little bit easier. It's not. And
you're getting wrestlers, and there's a lot of wrestling fans, believe it, out there. So you're getting a double sport impact. You see the no-gi action in MMA on UFC every week. So You're seeing some of these submissions like on UFC. So when it transports to like real high level stuff from real no-gi guys, you're like, oh wow, yeah, I've seen this on UFC. He's gonna take the back right here. Boom, there's the hooks, there's the armbar, because you've heard Rogan say it a million times. So it's like really palatable, because it's what the public has seen on a broadcast from MMA for so many years, just without the strikes. You know what I mean? So, I wonder if you were still allowed to fight in the gi in UFC.
How it would be different.
If it would be more like palatable for people to watch because they're so used to seeing a gi choke. They're so used to seeing something like that. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Days and Jits, how to deal with pick-me girls. I don't even know what that means. I'm a 41-year-old millennial. Do I need to call like one of my older kids and ask them this question and see what the fuck? Girls. I don't know what a pick-me girl is.
Pick me like a.
I have no clue.
Hey man, if I had a fucking dime for every girl who said pick me, I'd have 0 fucking dimes.
And then he has a follow-up question. I don't know if these two are related. I get the second question. It says, any advice for people dating and doing jits together, thinking long-term? My wife doesn't do jiu-jitsu, so no, I can't help you there, man.
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, I used to be like, why? Because why shit where you eat? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've seen it work. Randy and JoJo, they started off as white belts together. They're married. They have their own gym now. Like, I've seen it work. I guess it's just all a matter of like, how much do you really care for this person? How much do you like, how strong is your relationship?
That
are you comfortable?
Too, I would say, not to cut you off, and I'm sorry, but I would say
no.
Is your girl doing jujitsu because she loves jujitsu? An example aside from the JoJo and Randy thing would be like JB and Christina.
Yeah.
Like, she loves jujitsu. A separate friend. She doesn't just do jujitsu because her husband does jujitsu. She genuinely loves jujitsu. You know what I mean? So it's like, if their love and their passion for jujitsu is the same as yours, then yeah, I can see that being super beneficial. Like, you've got a training partner at all times. You know what I mean? Hey, let me try this move out. You know what I mean? Or if my wife came home and was just like, hey, I just saw this cool choke on, TikTok or whatever, like throw a gi top on. I want to try it. I'd be like, yeah.
Come here real quick. Let me try this. Like,
yeah.
What? What'd you say?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I swear to God, I'd freak out. But yeah, no, I feel like if you can pull it off, it's great. It's great. But if you're not jealous, if you're jealous and you're like, oh, I don't like my wife rolling with this guy and that and this, then, it could be a little traumatizing for you. Maybe it's not good. But if you don't care, if work is work and the jiu-jitsu community is they're just trying to get better at their craft, then yeah, who cares? Like, say you're mad at your chick or she's mad at you a little bit. You go to training, you roll a little bit, you choke them a little bit. Then you drive home, you're a little happier. Go to breakfast. It'd be great.
Right.
I shout out to everybody who pulls that off. I think having someone who be able to train with you is fantastic.
I guess if I had to think of advice, it would just be simple stuff like, one, don't be weird and jealous.
Pick the right girl, dude.
Yeah, pick the right girl. Don't be weird and jealous if somebody's training with your girl. You know what I mean? Like, it's if she wasn't your girl, it wouldn't matter. Why does it matter when it's your girl? You know what I mean? Tanaha Athletics. Tinahu? I hope I'm saying that right.
Naeem?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many gis is enough? I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet.
There's never enough, dude.
Yeah.
There's
Our wives may disagree.
I got over probably like over 30 gis, probably.
Right now. No shit.
Yeah. Well, that's like counting all the stuff that like I don't even wear anymore. Like off-brand stuff or other team stuff,
I've donated
old checkmat gis and stuff like I don't have like
I've donated a lot of gis away, and I only have what I wear, and I've got 13 or 14.
My wife hates it.
Yeah.
She hates it. She's like, dude, what are we doing? I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Sorry. You know what I hate? The big chalice Stanley that you freaking bring around, the holy grail of drinks that you bring around every day, and then you put it in the cup holder in the car, and then you don't even drink out of it, and then we have to go buy Starbucks, and then you get your Starbucks in the second hole, and I'm driving around with my latte, no soy, because I've changed. I'm driving around I'm having to fist it because I don't have a cup holder because you have your giant chalice. So you know what? I'll buy more gis, bringing them all day. It's a give and take here. You're going to take up the cup holder every time. You're going to eat my fries. You can eat my fries as we're driving. I get to pull up. I'm like, hey, do you want something? She goes, no, I don't want anything. And then so I order, and then I drive, and then all of a sudden I get there and there's nothing in the bag, dude. I'm like, you ate all mine? No. Sorry, honey. The gis stay.
ConradC.JJ. Have you ever rolled with someone and then questioned your sexuality? No.
No, I have not.
It's not gay.
I have not. Strictly tuna over here. I'm not a guy. I'm not. There's never been like, wow, he's kind of strong. I don't know. No, I just know. Your boy's not. I'm not that way. I just, I may drive a Subaru for my wife sometimes, but it doesn't mean I prefer it. You know what I mean? Like,
this next question rolls right into this question perfectly.
I am not. I roll with everybody, and Have a great time. I've been ragdolled where I'm like, dang, that guy. I've been beat so bad. I'm like, man, that guy could have fucking raped me if he wanted to. And there's nothing I can do about it. I've had that when I was like a white belt. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy about it. Wasn't happy about it at all.
Jamal M23. White belt question. Nut or no nut before competing?
Oh. Well, what month are we in? If we're in no nut November, no, I don't know. Look at I
get it.
No, I'm not doing that. I don't do that. Like we just talked about that earlier. I'm not like a big guy who's like, hey, honey, gotta get this.
I get. So it's like a 2-part thing. There's the old, fighter lore that if you just
weakens your legs.
Yeah, you just save up, and don't nut before your fight, that you're going to be more aggressive and, be a little. But then there's also the post-nut clarity that any man knows is very real. And it's like, do I nut beforehand? And now I've got this clarity of like not having pent up sexual frustration. But I've never been sexually frustrated while doing jiu-jitsu, so I don't know.
Same, dude. Same.
I don't know, Jamal. Is Jamal competing tomorrow?
I don't know. I think he might be, actually. Yeah, he was training gi, so I think he is. Jamal, I would say, dude, like whatever you feel comfortable doing, dude, just let it fly, dude. If you don't want to, you got to play that game. You're a white belt. You got to find your game, dude. You got to find your warm up. You know what I'm saying? I can't. The only advice I got to tell you, if a girl does no shave November, then she gets no D December. That's the only advice I can give. But, yeah, hey man, goo or not, dude, let's get after it.
Russ B23, what do you believe is the best wrestling takedown for jiu-jitsu?
2-on-1 takedown. I like the 2-on-1, where it's, almost like the Russian, where 2-on-1 on the arm. You can do slide bys, you can do arm drags, you can do shovel throws, you can do, Kimura traps. I like that you can take the back. Preferably, that's what I like. A low ankle pick, if you got athleticism, is pretty cool. If you can get to the single really, really good, and then run the double, that's pretty cool too. But for someone who's older like me, I like the 2-on-1.
I was going to say single or ankle pick. I do like a what do you call that? Not a collar drag, but a oh my God, I'm fucking blanking right now. Grabbing the wrist, grabbing the arm. The 2-on-1 essentially, but what's the phrase?
Collar tie?
No.
Russian?
I know what you're saying. Russian would be grabbing the wrist I would grab your right wrist with my right wrist, and then I would
this. Yeah, I'm like this. I'm like this.
Yeah.
It's almost like my throw that I do, right? But I'm like this.
Yeah.
That's the 2-on-1. And I'm looking for like throw bys. I'm looking for arm drags.
Yeah. I like
that's what
an arm drag is what I'm thinking of. I like an arm drag, but if I can if I'm arm dragging, let's say I'm grabbing your right arm and I'm going to go to your right side, so my left, and instead of just dragging you and spinning to your back, dragging and dropping to a knee like you're going to take a shot, and then coming up around the back, so you've almost come under them.
Duck unders.
Yeah, like you're almost coming around the side of them versus it's like a duck under, but you're not popping the elbow up and ducking under.
Gotcha. I get what you're saying. Yeah. But I like to control one side of the body. That's pretty much my whole game is like, I'm just going to focus on half of your body and just demand to try to just take it.
Personally, I would say if I can get to your back and throw you somehow, you know what I mean? That would be if the takedown is the throw and now I'm already starting on your back from the throw, that would be my favorite. That would be preferential. And now
if you could have any jiu-jitsu highlight, Kenny, put it in fruition. That could just be like a short little reel for you with some cool ass music. What would you want your highlight to be? Like a flying triangle, flying arm bar, big ass suplex.
I would say, I mean, if we're talking just straight jujitsu, I would say that
Something
Demetrius
crazy
Johnson,
off the pit wall.
The souffle to the armbar midair switch.
Oh, yeah.
That might be the best takedown submission combo that's ever happened in combat sports.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. I agree. I think a big slam would be cool to have on the IG.
Yeah, I love
like
a
cool
souffle.
ass throw too, like a fucking get some head over their head and fucking awesome. That's the best.
Yeah. Is it weird that I low key want Zoltan to throw me so I can? Because he always talk about making people fly. I want to see the kind of like.
Oh, I'm sure he'll do it. Let's ask him next time. I'm sure, Kenny. Just like Ponch is gonna roll with you. I've already talked to him about it. He's like, oh yeah, next time. I'm sure. I'm sure Zoltan will just fucking send you to the ether realm if you want him to.
Yeah,
that's fine.
All right, now
I would love to train in that castle, dude.
It does it not look? Did you see videos Nader posted today?
Hey, he's like, it's all jiu-jitsu mats only. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Sick.
For those who don't know, that I don't want to get into that.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, there's a jiu-jitsu castle out there somewhere that's just dope.
Yeah.
If you've watched any of Zoltan's IG story in the last month, he's got he's got lots of footage in there of him grappling.
Yeah, he's doing a BJJ Fanatics. So.
Oh really?
Look excited for that one.
Yeah,
I think he's doing a BJJ Fanatics. So I'm excited, or instructional. So that'd be cool.
So yeah, and then his demonstration partner is fucking
Jeff Glover.
Jeff Glover. Yeah.
Man, beat that.
What a wild life. Just from a jiu-jitsu standpoint.
Too, dude.
That's it for questions, brother.
You think what I'm thinking, Kenny?
Aim for the bushes, my man.
Aim for the bushes. My name is Matt at Nation BJJ. Follow me. Follow Kenny at Freak Party BJJ. Follow us on the Discord, the YouTube. We have hit 4,000 followers on Instagram. Hopefully when you're hearing this, we're like closer to like 4,500, 5,000. That'd be sick. We want to get to 7,000 by the end of the year. We appreciate all you guys. Follow us on all our socials. BJJ Balance. We're coming everywhere. And we appreciate everything you guys have done for us thus far. Let's grow. Let's take over 2025 and have a good week. Os.